All right. We're going to compute the determinant of this matrix a couple of different ways. And here we'll finally highlight how, if we're clear with our choices, we can actually find the determinant a lot easier to compute. Okay. All right. So the first one is we're going to do it as we have done before along the first row. Okay. So we have 0, 3, and 0, -6. Okay. So that's a submatrix. Minus 8 here. -4, 3, 4, -6, and then +1. We have -4, 0, 4, 0. Okay. Uh, Computing this, -2 times 0. This is 0 minus 0. Okay. And that's a -8. And then we have a +24 minus 12. Yep. And then over here, we have 0 and a 0, so +0. So this turns out to be, looks like 12 times 8 negative, so it's a -96. Okay. All right, so this is along the first row. I guess I should label that first row. Okay, so that's kind of how we normally do it. And then we're going to try it along the third column. So third column, just to kind of illustrate that we should get the same result, hopefully, but also the fact that some expansions are easier to determine than the others. So along the third column is we're going to be going along this route here. So I have a +1, and this is positive, negative, positive, so this will be positive, and then as we go down the row, it'll be positive, negative, positive, just like the sign-wise, it's exactly the same as going along the first row. So 1 times the determinant of, so I have this one, so -4, 0, -4, 0. That's right, that's actually positive. So that's this one. So looking at this one and that one. Okay. Minus this 3 here. So minusing this row and this column. We have -2, 8. And 4, 0. Okay. -2, 8, 4, 0. Okay. And then plus. Our last one is the -6 times. So it's this row and this column. So -2, 8, -4, 0, -2, 8, -4, 0. That's a -4. Okay. All right. So we'll go ahead and compute the many determinants then. This is 1, 4 times 0, 4 times 0. So this is 0 minus 3. This is 0 minus what, 32? Looks like. And then over here, we have -6 from here. And then we have 0 minus a minus since we're subtracting. So plus 32 looks like there. Okay. All right. And so this one looks a little bit more interesting. We have this is 0. This is -3 times negative 32, which is going to be what? 6 negative, looks like a +96 minus, well, this is going to be, since this is 6, that's the same thing as 3 times this minus 3 times this. And so just recognizing that this is 90, this is 32 inside, and this is 32 inside. Well, this and this are exactly the same thing, right? -3 times 32. So that's just noticing that right now, actually. So we have left a -33 times -3 times 32, which we already saw was a -96, which calculates to what we saw above, as we would expect. Okay. So the third option, okay, is to choose any method. And you may notice that up here in the original, do you see how column 2 has 8 and then a bunch of 0? Anytime you have zeros as your expanders, that would be the numbers that go out in front here. Those zeros, I don't care what this determinant is, it's being multiplied by 0. So those actually disappear completely. So that's the preferred one I would go to. And the only thing you have to be careful about is the signs. And since this is the positive, this is negative. This starts off as negative. Okay. So we're gonna go expand around the second, sorry, around the second column. And so our second column, it's a little hard to see up here, but we have a negative 8. The negative's coming from the fact that this is the second row. So like if we were spending on the first row like we did before, we had the minus sign here. So it's the same thing. And then our determinant, so we're going to block off this row and this column. And so we have negative 4, 3, and then 4 and negative 6. Okay. And then here's why I'm choosing column 2. We have plus 0 times some small determinant, but it's being multiplied by 0, so we don't need to add it. And then technically it should be a minus 0 because it's negative, positive, negative according to the signs. But again, we're multiplying by 0. And I don't really care what these elements are in both of these matrices. Since they're being multiplied by 0, this is all gone. And now we're just left with computing this one determinant, negative 8 times, it's going to be positive 24 minus, looks like 12. Okay, so this is, looks like something we saw very similarly to the first row when we first did it, right? Like here, oh, right there. That's exactly the same result. And we get, this is negative 8 times 12, which is negative 96. Okay, so in each situation, we ended up with the exact same result. I'll let you decide which one for you is the easiest. But aside from the sign convention, which can be a little challenging to recall, the column or row that has a bunch of zeros should be your favorite go-to to help you reduce the number of calculations that you need to complete. Okay, with that, I hope it was helpful, and I'll look forward to seeing you in the next video.